Karamja is an island rarely used by players. In fact, apart from the fight caves, Grimhaven Dungeon, Nature Altar and Slayer Master in Shiloh Village, there really isn't much useful content at all here, and where there aren't a lot of eyes to watch what is going on, bots thrive. This beautiful land has gone to waste over time with not enough updates for the regular player. There are better places to kill the NPCs than in the dungeon here. There is only one bank on the island, making most skilling inefficient, and the places that are actually used you can teleport right next to, leaving the rest of Karamja completely unused. This has allowed bots to get over 100 million experience without being noticed, and make thousands of dollars worth of GP each in the process as well. I found all of this out from a tip off from my friend Grinding, who was fishing here and noticed people running the nature altar always stopping in exactly the same spot. Not just one account, but when he hopped worlds there were many accounts. So I went to check it out, but the first thing I actually found was mining bots in exactly the same place. These bots had a high mining level and just enough stats to turn these low level gems into enchanted jewelry. Even these had fairly high mining levels considering how slow this skill is, and I'd clearly been botting here for a very long time. But when I reached the US worlds 477 to 496, I started to see lots of the runecrafting bots I was looking for, and some of them had over 100 million runecrafting XP. That's right, some of these bots had been running for almost a year without being banned. They were teleporting in via the fairy ring and then running across to the nature altar, so I decided to follow one. I noticed that they would stop at regular intervals about a screen length apart from each other, always in almost identical places every single time. Now, if someone was following me whilst I was runecrafting, I would ask the question, what the hell are you doing? But although they didn't, I wanted more proof than just that. So I decided to be a complete pain in the backside, something that I seem to be naturally very good at. The next thing I did was try to talk to them, starting up random conversations, and unsurprisingly, none of them replied. However, this happens to me a lot, so again, it wasn't the proof I needed, and it had also been suggested that they may be gold farmers, so wouldn't reply anyway. So the next plan I hatched was to drop an Abyssal Whip for 2 minutes at a time, which means the item will appear for 1 minute to anyone running past. Now I don't know anyone that wouldn't pick up a whip. A player would, a gold farmer would, even Matt123 who has 1.5 trillion GP probably would as well. The only thing that wouldn't pick up a whip is a bot because it isn't programmed to do so. Sure enough, not one of these bots picked up the whip, but this poor guy here thought he was getting trolled by me, who wasn't botting and seeing the whip. The next thing I decided to do was to trade them a bond. When you are offered a bond, it literally prompts you in chat that you are being offered a bond, and I did this multiple times per bot to ensure that no one could accidentally click off that prompt as they were running, and none of them accepted that either. And I also found 2 other accounts that did not follow the same pattern or keep stopping. Unlike the other bots that are probably macroing, which is why they stop every screen length, these 2 accounts didn't and had over 100 million runecrafting XP each. So I again tested them to see if they were gold farmers or bots. They also didn't respond to me, pick up the whip or accept a bond, clearly showing that they are not players at all. But it did show me that they are using a different way to bot, and they haven't been caught either in almost a year. Finally, I also found a 3rd type of bot which was different to the others. Almost every time I offered it a bond, it would tell me that the account is busy, making it 3 different types of bot here, all of which are able to avoid Jagex's bot detection system, and I appreciate sometimes Jagex bans bots and they simply make another. So there is not a lot you can do, but 3 different types of bots on around 50 different accounts in the same spot that haven't been banned for a year is quite frankly appalling and needs stopping. I was curious about the route they took, and I finally found one with their PM on, so I decided to follow him. After they run across from the fairy ring, they enter the nature altar, craft the runes, and then teleport to their house. There they use the glory to teleport to Edgeville, where they bank the nature runes and take out more essence. They teleport back to their house where they use the restoration pool to restore their run energy, and if needed they also use the lunar altar to repair their pouches. Then they use the fairy ring to teleport back to Karamja. As I was following this bot, something strange happened. Someone with a rune crafting cape on started following me, and the bot ran towards the furnace in Edgeville. So I started to talk to the guy following me and asked about the bot. Unlike the other accounts who had just enough stats to be able to runecraft nature runes, although he had 107 rune crafting, this account had also trained other stats as well, which suggests that this is the bot owner's main account. He initially played dumb, but when I flat out asked him how many bots he had, he did the log of guilt, never to be seen again. But does he care? Probably not. These are just some of the bots that I found doing this method, but there are around 50 at any one point, and they are making an incredible amount of money. Because nature running is very profitable. These bots have millions of rune crafting experience each, which is the slowest skill in the whole game. Every 1 million experience they gain is worth around 42 million GP, and this is how much the bots with the highest XP have made in less than a year. Each one has made over 5 billion GP, with between 125 and 136 million experience. The rate of gold is currently $1 for every 2 million, which means that this GP is worth a staggering $8,450 from these 3 accounts alone, which is about the cost of a 2-month luxury cruise from Australia to the UK, stopping in Indonesia, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Malta, and Spain. But because these bots have almost identical stats, by looking through the high scores we can see that there is actually 6 accounts with these stats in the top 125, with the top one having 171 million experience. He will literally have botted 200 million experience in the slowest skill in the game in a couple of months' time. These bots combined have made almost $20,000. That's enough money to take you and 150 friends to the biggest event of the year. No, not that. Definitely not that. That's right, RuneFest. Clearly and unquestionably the greatest event of 2022, and if that plug doesn't get me an invite next to Modash on the sofa next year, I don't know what will. But there is actually 50 bots running constantly at any time, and you won't believe what they make between them. I checked the stats around 10 days after I recorded these bots, and they had gained 4 million experience each, which means they run for around 12 hours a day. At that rate, these 50 bots combined make enough GP that it is worth a staggering $250,000 every single year. That is enough money to buy a 2018 Lamborghini Huracan, so that they can drive up to RuneFest to go and see their friends. I normally don't ask for support, but these bots clearly need banning, and I know they will simply create more, but as long as it is banned before level 91 runecrafting, it will at least cut their profit in half, because they won't get double nature runes. So please drop a like so that we can get Jagex's attention and put an end to these bots.